Hey, what is up, guys? So we have the Cyberse Link structure deck opening today. Really wanted to get this. It's been 4 weeks since it came out. I went there on the first, second, and third week in a row, and they didn't have it. So finally, I got this, and I bought 3 of this. So there will be a deck profile for this coming up soon. So do look forward to that. But for now, let's just open it up. So we'll just open one because they're all the same. And yeah, let's see what happens. So I believe we'll open from the back. Really excited to see the new Link monsters and everything, because obviously they're gonna be really good. Specifically talking about Tri-Gate Wizard here, because that's used in Spirals and I play Spirals. Alright, so inside we have our beginner's guide. Should be pretty obvious already how to do things. I guess this one will specifically teach you how to link summon, I guess. But of course, it's just the beginner's book by now. Everyone should already know. And let's take a look at the playmat as well. Okay, so let's see. We have Tri-Gate Wizard, Encode Talker, and I believe that's Binary Sorceress. So that's pretty cool. Alright, and of course the extra monster zones as well. Really wish we could actually get proper rubber mats, but this will have to do for now. Alright, let's get on with the deck profile. Alright, so let's see what's inside. Where's the opening tab? There it is. So I'm seeing this here. I don't know what this is. Duel Links promotion or something like that. But let's just see what we have. So we have Encode Talker as our ultra rares, Tri-Gate Wizard, Binary Sorceress as a super rare, Dual Assembler Worm, and a Signet Backdoor. Alright, so these are our holos. Maybe we'll go through them, I don't know. Probably I'll go through them in a deck profile or something like that, but yeah, we'll just find out if we have time or not. Alright, so Digitron. This is a really cool card, an extension to Bitron. So more targets to search for, and it's actually 1500 attack instead of 2000 defense like Bitron is. So I really like this. Definitely going to be putting this in the deck. We have Dotscaper. We have Client. Backlinker. Balancer Lord. Rom Claudia. Boot Staggered. Another reprint of Cyberse Wizard, which I kind of don't like because it's already cheap enough as a super rare. I don't know why they had to give us as a common. It just devalues the super rare even more. Backup Secretary, again, Stack Reviver, Launcher Commander. These three were already printed in Code of the Duelists. It seems pretty unnecessary to reprint these cards again. Tragodia, Summoner Monk, Card Trooper, Debris Dragon, Mathematician, Crane. These are actually really good reprints so far. Magician of Faith, Jester Confit. Glow Up Bulb is by far one of the best reprints we could get in this, as well as Kinkabio as well. So moving on to spells, we have Soul Charge, an amazing card. We have Shuffle Reborn, DDR. Shuffle Reborn is one of those really underestimated cards. I might actually make a video talking about it. We have Gold Sarcophagus, also a good card. Mind Control is a great card. Cosmic Cyclone is also a really good card as well. Moon Mirror Shield, one of those cards that have been played as a good tech. Wear Off Thou is also one of those good cards that's been played, mostly in Spirals, obviously. Moving on to traps, we have Recoded Alive, Miracle's Wake, Powerful Rebirth, Premature Return, Swamp Mirrorer, Quantum Cat, Storming Mirror Force, which is an amazing card, by the way. Dimensional Barrier. So this is a really good reprint, and it's definitely a really awesome card. Obviously, it's not as expensive as it once was when it first came out, but still a really great card. And we have Ghosts from the Past. And over here, we have our Duel Links, I guess like some card for it. So that's pretty cool as well. Alright, so after going through everything, this is actually a pretty good structure deck. So let's actually look at the super rares and the ultra rares and talk about it. So we have Signet Backdoor. Target one Cyberse monster you control, banish it. If you do, add a Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand whose attack is lower than that monster's original attack. During your next standby phase, return the banished monster, and it can attack directly that turn. You can only activate this once per turn. So this is a really good card. I saw it in the anime when it was used on Firewall Dragon to actually win the game. So really fun card. This is definitely something I'm going to try out in the deck. So we have Dual Assembleworm. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, banish 2. You can banish 2 Cyberse monsters from your hand or face up on the field. Special summon this card. But, of course, its attack is halved. You can only use this effect of Dual Assembleworm once per turn. Once per turn, you can banish 1 card from your hand and banish 1 monster on the field with attack less than or equal to this card's. So it's pretty interesting because obviously this card will be at 14 if you use its effect to special summon. So ideally you want to bring him out through normal summon or some other method that doesn't halve its attack. Not bad. It's kind of like an Armed Dragon effect. Alright, so with the Link monsters, we have Binary Sorceress. So this is a Link 2 monster. 2 monsters accept tokens, so it's good that it's a little bit generic. Of course, we already have Proxy Dragon, but this card is still pretty decent. So its effect is this card gains effects based on the number of monsters co-linked. So what co-linked is they have to actually have these 2 pointing to each other. So it wouldn't work if she's just pointing to, for example, this, because there's no arrows also pointing to Binary Sorceress. So co-linked is a really good idea and concept, though it is much harder to pull off. So let's see, if it's co-linked to 1 card, it has the effect of when a monster co-linked to this card battles your opponent's monster and inflicts battle damage to them, you gain that much life, which is okay. The second one is if you have 2 co-linked monsters, then obviously it's once per turn, quick effect. You can target 2 face-up monsters you control until end of this turn, half the attack of 1 monster. If you do, add the lost attack to the other monster, which is, again, it's decent. Of course, this card isn't particularly amazing, so it's just pretty much just added on to the extra deck. And of course, it's a Cyberse monster, which might come in a little useful in the future, depending on what future support we actually get. So here's Encode Talker. Pretty cool because we got Decode Talker in the structure starter deck. So let's see, 2 Cyberse monsters at least. Once per turn during damage calculation, if your monster discard points to battles an opponent's monster of higher attack than it, you can make that monster unable to be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no damage from that battle. After damage calculation, have this card or 1 monster it points to gain attack equal to the attack of the battled monster until the end of this turn. So, quite nice, and the link markers are also not too bad as well. It has these co-linked markers, so I kind of like that, and I like that it's also pointing down as well, so it opens up 2 slots in a different way. So not the best compared to Decode Talker, because obviously Decode Talker is 2 effect monsters. This requires Cyberse monsters. But in terms of using it in a Cyberse deck, it will be pretty interesting. So we'll see what happens there. Alright, so now let's talk about the most anticipated card of this set, Trigate Wizard. It's being used in Spirals quite a bit, and it probably got Spirals hit on the ban list because of how good this card was, and how easy it was to actually go into it. But it requires 2+ monsters, except tokens. It's a Link 3 pointing to the left, right, and up. Really good card. This card gains the effects based on the number of monsters co-linked to it. So of course this was played in Spirals because it was so easy to have monsters co-linked to this. And so its effect is if you have 1 monster co-linked, if a monster co-linked to this card battles your opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. If it has 2 co-linked monsters, it gains the effect of once per turn you can target 1 card on the field, banish it, which is already really good. And the third one, which is the one that's being used the most in Spiral decks really, is if it's co-linked to 3 monsters, which is pretty difficult to pull off, but in Spirals it somehow pulls it off. Gains the effect of once per turn when a card or effect is activated. Quick effect, you can negate that activation, and if you do, banish that card. Yes, it's not even destroy, it's banish. So, a really nice card, and definitely a really great card to use in spirals. Definitely playing one of this at least. Potentially you could play two, but of course with extra deck space being a little tight, it does definitely become a debatable decision. But yeah, that's a pretty good card. Alright, so originally I was planning to actually just do an opening of this, but in the end I ended up reviewing a few of these cards and everything like that. I think this structure deck is actually really amazing. Konami has actually done a good job at actually improving structure decks compared to the past ones. A lot of the cards are a lot better, both starter decks and structure decks actually, and this is going to be really fun because a lot of the cards are actually good staples. We have Dimensional Barrier as a reprint, and Cosmic Cyclone, and of course new cards like Trigate Wizard. It's just really good, and it helps definitely improve the game a lot and makes a lot more cards accessible to people who actually play on a budget. So yeah, that was pretty much the opening and the review, I guess. And do stay tuned for a deck profile. I'll be making a Cyberse deck profile pretty soon, so do stay tuned for that. And of course, I might even make a combo video and a test hand video. But until the meantime, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.